Okay, welcome back to my Let's Play Minecraft Quests with SRJ26. I am in the middle of doing a walkthrough of my base, not because it's a quest, but because the greater purpose of this Let's Play is to show what we're doing on our server, and a lot of it is building quests, but some of it is not. And what I'm about to show you is the Redstone Labs. So, these are the Redstone Labs. It's basically a place where I've created demos of redstone stuff. So we've got our redstone signal going up, and you step on the panel and you can see what happens. And it's a place for the kids and actually for me as well to learn. It's a place, here it says redstone signals can only go for 15 blocks. So you step on it and you see there's a repeater down there. And you walk down and there's a sign above the repeater to try to help explain what's going on. And it says redstone repeater will restart signal extending range. The funny thing is, before these were in existence, these little repeaters, I was actually making the repeaters old school, and with actual blocks and the torches and everything. And I was doing it even though those existed because I had no idea. My buddy Paul clued me in and said, there's a better way. And so we've got very simple experiments here. Step on plate and redstone wire will open the door. Click. And behind these walls are caves that can spawn monsters, so it can be a very exciting little lab, sometimes with extra added arrow fire. And of course here's an inverted redstone signal, and etc. etc. We've got the AND gate, we've got the OR gate, we've got the NOR gate, and we've got the NAND gate. And then my favorite one, which is of course the memory circuit, where you can select one and then the setting or the signals remain. So now one door is open, the other one's shut, and now it switches. And I've just rigged it up that way, but the memory circuit will store a state, basically. And then of course the dispenser, you can barely see the sign there, dispenser, which drops blocks, so will keep the door open. So the blocks will disappear after 5 minutes. So that's a way of creating a signal that will be 5 minutes long. And this is all stuff you probably already know. But I created this not for myself just to learn, but for the kids, because it's all about the kids. Here is a repeater that causes a delay. Hopefully a monster won't come out. Good, we're fine. And that's another cave, so there could be monsters back there. And here is a demo of how to hide a redstone wire behind the wall. So we can go back here and we can see that there's a redstone wire one level below the edge of the wall. And the goal was to give everyone, including myself, a chance to learn how this stuff works, because it's complicated. I still have trouble with it, and I consider myself reasonably good with it. There is an upstairs to this level, or to this redstone hall, and I'll take you up there. Let me actually close the door. The funny thing is the door is not actually panel operated, even though everything here is very fancy. And here we have a vertical redstone transmission going down. The other one behind me was going up. So you step on it and you can sort of watch how it works. And here we have observation level, an observation level. So you can actually see what's happening with all these experiments. Because sometimes when you're down on the ground, it's kind of hard to see. And I thought all those diagrams that all the ones they show you online, have sort of a top-down view. So I thought a top-down view would probably be really kind of helpful. And that is what this whole deck is for. So that's the NAND maybe? I can't keep track. This is my favorite one, the memory latch. So you've got the one torch turning the other torch off. It's neat stuff. And some of I haven't had a lot of people using these bays for experiments, but I've done some work down here, and Dante and I have done some work down here experimenting and learning how to do stuff. This whole area here was meant for experimenting with rail, hence the large area cleared out, and there's a few rail left. And that's the Redstone Labs. So it was basically built as a place for experimentation and learning. And I've tried to encourage that in our player base, because redstone is amazing stuff, and in a future episode I'll show you some of the stuff I've done with it in my current base, not my old base. Right now, though, we're gonna start walking. I said before that we used to get over to the Eastern Roadhouse by means of boats. Now I actually walk through the Redstone Labs. It's a way to get there. And the Redstone Labs I intentionally put between my base and the road so that people would have a way to get to it that was fairly easy. And it is daytime, so I'm perfectly safe to come on up. I should probably rearrange my inventory, but that's boring for you to watch, so I will save you the pleasure of seeing that. Okay, and there's our redstone testing labs downstairs past lava. So the goal was to have a place for people to go and experiment. One thing I didn't show was that there's a supply chest that had pretty much all the redstone they would ever need to run experiments with torches and panels and buttons and everything they could possibly need. And I'm going to walk us down to the skeleton grinder, which is the next thing I'm going to show off before this episode is over. And it's pretty simple. It's basically just a grinder. If you don't know what a grinder is, it's a location that's been designed specifically to kill monsters and then take their droppings, their drops, and not droppings, there's no poop blocks here, but their drops, and take the stuff they drop and sort of channel it to a place for pickup. So we go down the stanchion and down into this underground place here, and now we've got, you can see up there, there is a skeleton spawner. And I'll actually take you over so you can see it. Oh, I try to. Oh, I'm drowning myself. Alright, let's do this right. There we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, yes, I can walk. Alright, here we go. Let me make sure there are no monsters here, because there often are. Nothing there yet. I've been blown up over here before. And you hear the clickety-click? That clickety-click is our friends, the skeletons. And there's actually stuff in the chest, but I'm not going in. And that feeds the skeletons into a drowning pit, and the drowning pit channels the bones and the arrows that they drop over here. And Paul clued me into the idea of having a rail circling around so that your motion will keep them spawning, so that you can leave yourself going overnight. The problem with this skeleton spawner, the skeleton grinder, is that it didn't actually work effectively enough. You'd get hung up on stuff when you were cycling around and on the rails, and believe it or not, you have to actually be within a certain number of blocks of the spawner for it to produce skeletons, and I believe the rail goes outside of that range. So in a future episode, I'll show you the current status of this. And over here we've got all of our many arrows, which I love arrows. Arrows are wonderful things. So that is the skeleton grinder, and I think that's where I'm going to leave off this time. So next up, I will take us over to the art house. This was, again, just to clarify, this was, again, it was another build for the kids to have a place to go get supplies. There's something to be said for making them work hard and earn everything themselves, but it's also meant to be fun. So some of the kids are 8, 9, 10. I wanted them to have a place where if they wanted to go and get arrows themselves and get supplied up so they could actually face the creepers and zombies and everything a little bit more easily, they would have a place to go to get supplies. It's certainly easier than giving them stuff as an admin when they beg again and again and again, because that gets tiresome. So, thank you for watching, and that has been episode, I don't even know where we are, episode 5 maybe. Next up, I will take you over to the art house, and we will slowly but surely make our way to the Western Roadhouse, where we will make our way to the probably the best build I've ever made, or possibly over to look at Paul's base, because he's done some amazing things with mob grinders. I guess I'm going to go up and... Oh, actually, I wanted to show you one thing before we clear on off. Hopefully the night won't the sun won't set. I just want to clear this off because it's kind of funny. Here we have a nice glass roof. So if I ever get incredibly frustrated by getting killed by the wrong skeletons in the wrong place and lose my stuff, well, I can come over here and torture some, because here we have our skeleton grinder. And you can see the drowning pit right there. The skeletons appear, they go into the pit, they drown, and we laugh heartily. I will cover this up later. Right now, I will bid you adieu, and next up we will travel west and we will see what there is to see. And eventually we will get to the wonderful build that you see in the intro sequence of this video. So thank you for watching, and until next time, hopefully I'll see you later. Bye-bye.